and this is the last day of our festival. It's been a tremendous journey, and today we came to an end. On this day, we have focused on two different things. In the morning session, we have one practical uh, Kundalini yoga session by Jade. She is from New Zealand. And the other session is by Dr. Gururaj, who will be telling about the basics of Ayurveda. The next session will be all about business and yoga. So I request you guys to stay tuned for that. So Jade comes from New Zealand and she practices Kundalini yoga, which is again a different form of yoga. I will request Jade to come on screen and tell you a bit about herself, about Kundalini yoga, and take the passion here. Thank you. Welcome, Jade. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Satnam. I am. I hope everybody can hear me. Today, yeah, you can hear me well? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So today I'm going to lead you through a 40-minute Kundalini practice. So all you really need is some space around you, a mat. I have here a cushion just underneath my pelvis, just to elevate it slightly, because in Kundalini, the knees are best angled downwards in the easy pose. This is a very ancient form of yoga. It's one of the oldest forms of yoga. It's known by many names: the warrior's yoga, the yoga of manifestation. It's very much a somatic practice, so it includes repetition and motion, which are the asanas, a lot of rhythmical work. We also have sound science, so the mantra, mudra, so the hand positions for sealing and working with the electromagnetic field, and breath work and the locks. So I'll be guiding you through a process with this today. And we're just going to begin with the Adi mantra. So if you just want to rub your palms together, this is very much a closed eye practice, which I know is counterintuitive considering that we're doing this via video, but bear with. Close your eyes, drop into your own energy center, your own space. Rubbing the palms together, this activates the nadis, the 72,000 energetic channels, and just gently pushing the palms together in prayer mudra, thumbs together in front of your sternum. And we're going to begin with the Adi mantra. So this Adi mantra pays homage to the golden thread of all the Kundalini teachers that have gone before myself and you. You're welcome to join in with me. I realize this may be the first time that you've done this. So it's Ong, and that's a sound much like but Ong. So the tongue is on the roof of the mouth and it reverberates up into the pineal gland. Namo, so that opens up the throat. Guru, Dev, Namo. So we're sounding these sounds through the body, and it essentially translates to I bow to the infinite creator within. I bow to the divine teacher within. All right, so I'm going to do 3 rounds of Om Namo, Gurudev Namo, and I'm doing this as much for myself as I am for you. So if you just want to close your eyes, hands in prayer mudra, inhale, and we will begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Inhale, integrate this medicine, and then hands down gently, getting a nice firm grip on the on your ankles. And I just want you to rock here. So rocking your pelvis back and forward, grounding into your sitting bones. Inhale, breath, exhale. So inhale, and you're opening up your chest, opening up your heart, and then exhale, curling back in. So moving back and forward and just really rocking with this rhythm, finding your own rhythm. We're going to stay here for a little while, so I really encourage you to close your eyes and to drop into this practice with yourself. Inhale, exhale. You'll find that I will continually dialogue throughout this practice, as well as allowing you the space to really go there with yourself. Eyes are closed, third eye awareness. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It's all through the nose. We are channeling, we are summoning, we are activating and awakening the divine energy that lays within you. This rhythmic motion will start to open up and to call forth your own Kundalini energy. Everybody has this Kundalini energy within them. It is your own innate form of your own evolutionary consciousness that you were born with. Open up your heart, extend, contract, extend, contract, open, close. Just feeling yourself here, rhythm, breath, pain, nothing more. You can even say to yourself, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. If you feel like you want to concentrate on just a single point of sound, mantra, which translates to truth is thy name. Really go there, rocking forward, back, taking yourself there. Eyes are closed. Breathe in, out, inhale, exhale. So notice how it's an in and then it's a sniff. This is a powerful motion. You are opening up your subconscious mind here. You are channeling energy from your pelvis up into your limbic brain, where all the healing that is required to be done gets done. Sending prana and the energy up to this part of your mind. Inhale, exhale. Flushing, cleansing, clearing. You are clearing out the cerebral fluid, traveling this energy up the back of the spine. Now in Kundalini, there is no such thing as a beginner's, intermediate, or advanced. It is simply longer, deeper, stronger. So if you feel like you need to take a break and drop out or have some water, by all means, just come back to the practice, come back to the self, central column. Your own position, your own energy. This is your opportunity to really drop in to your own self. We're cleansing out your energetic blockages here. Third eye awareness, focus. Good. Now gently coming into the center, I want you to squeeze buttocks, rectum, sex organs, pelvic floor. Channel the energy up. Breath, hold. Hold. Drawing this energy up, apply Mula Bandha. Chin is angled down. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. As far back as you can stretch it. Eyes rolled upwards and in. Hold. Channel. Align. Find your center point of alignment. Find your center point, your 0 point. Go within. Hold. Channeling this golden energy all the way up to the pineal gland. And when you're ready, it's a long, slow release out the mouth. And just really draw it out as long as you can. This is going to cleanse and clear out your auric field. Inhale, coming into your alignment once again. Second set, let's go. We're going to do 2 sets of everything because I'm a big believer in muscle memory. Picking up exactly where you left off makes it easier to go deeper this time. So if you just want to continue with the rocking here, this is communicating to the energy, which is in your coccyx, which is at the base of the spine. Feeling this energy swell, feeling this energy rock and awaken. Flushing, cleansing, clearing out the neurological pathways with your breath by channeling this love and this light, this pure consciousness all the way up. Inhale, exhale. And just really challenge yourself that every time you move forward, go to your fuller extension. Breath, feel, breathe, feel, and heal. This is a powerful heart chakra cleanse as much as it is the base and the solar plexus. Good. Now just gently rocking, eyes are closed, coming into the center. Squeeze, Mula Bandha. Inhale, breath, hold, tongue on the roof of the mouth. Squeezing buttocks, sex organs, rectum, navel, drawing the energy all the way up. Eyes rolled upwards and in. Looking inwards and up to receive the descending spirits of your higher self, your highest alignment, and hold. Challenge yourself. Go there. Keep up. Find your stillness within. Find your infinite wisdom within. Go into your nothingness. And when you're ready, long, slow, with control, release. What this will do, it's going to reset your nervous system. Coming into rock pose. Rock pose is here, kneeling like this. We're going to continue with the spinal flex series. And again, just placing your hands on your knees and moving forward and back, forward, back. So rocking, we're going to stay here for about a minute. So really moving and tilting your pelvis forward, just allowing your hands to gently rock forward and back. Eyes are closed. Just follow the sound of my voice. This is how I work in the online space with people. We do one-to-ones, we do group work, as well as local work. Going into you, feeling into you. Inhale, exhale. Keep up. If you can keep up on the mat, you can keep up off the mat. This is where the true alchemy occurs, on the mat. The changes in your life, in your emotional, mental, physical, happen off the mat when you're walking around in everyday life. Inhale, exhale, flush, cleanse, clear, release. Good, you're doing great. Keep up. You are training your body to use itself as its own healer. This is your medicine. Go there, go within. And start to visualize the energy moving and expanding from, if you're a female, from your womb space, if you're a man, from your coccyx, and it is channeling and moving this energy all the way up. Sacral, solar, heart. The heart is a great amplifier. Channeling it up, throat, head. Coming into the center, I want you to squeeze buttocks, sex organs, rectum, navel, drawing the abdomen in, tongue on the roof of the mouth, chin tucked in, squeeze, breath hold, drawing the energy all the way up to the pituitary gland. Eyes looking upwards and in, and hold as long as you can. You are training your body to become a conduit to receive Kundalini energy. But first, we must train and prime it to cleanse, to clear, to open the gateways, the channel, your central column. And when you're ready, long, slow, with control, release. Breathing out. Recalibrating your central nervous system, creating that space within. Going into a second set now. Inhale, exhale, rock, forwards, back. Eyes are closed. Third eye awareness. Finding your own rhythm here. The subconscious mind responds to rhythm. It loves rhythm. It opens up the rest of the gateways in your body, cleansing out the past, bringing you into the full moment via your own rhythm. Take yourself there. Inhale, exhale, chin tucked in, open heart energy. There's no one else in the room with you. Really go there with yourself. Open up your heart. Open up your heart chakra, the central column. Imagining your shoulder blades are touching one another. Inhale, exhale. And every time you inhale, draw the energy up, drawing it up from your pelvis, all the way up to your crown and beyond. Coming into the center, apply Mullabon, squeeze rectum, sex organs, navel, drawing the energy up, drawing it all the way up to your pituitary gland, which is in the center of your right and left hemisphere, tongue, back, roof. As far back as you can, eyes rolled upwards and in, hold. Go into your center point, go into your nothingness, training your mind, training your brain for pure peace, where consciousness can rise. Hold. Hold. And when you're ready, I want you to do a long, slow exhale, but this time visualizing the energy coming out the center of your crown and all the way around your energy field, releasing, cleansing, clearing. Beautiful. Coming into easy pose once again, we're going to start working a little bit deeper into clearing out the heart chakra. So just placing your hands in a monkey grip like this. And we're going to do a sniff and release. This is a powerful, dynamic, and purposeful pose or asana. Keep going, keep up, breathe in and out, sniff and release. Again, we're going to stay here for about a minute. Inhale, exhale, pulling your arms apart. You're creating space within, creating space in your heart. The more space within you, the more life can flow towards you. This is where you can manifest your dreams. You can think, you can receive, because you have this space within you. This is the practice. This is where we go deep within. Sniff, release, sniff, release. Chin tucked in. Sniffing, breathing, drawing the energy upwards and in. Seesawing here, up and down. This is where you're transforming yourself, coming into the center. Inhale, squeeze, mullaband, rectum, pelvic floor. If you can't feel it, imagine it until it is possible. Keep going with yourself, drawing this energy all the way up through your central column. Tongue on the roof of the mouth, eyes rolled upwards and in, chin tucked in. Highest alignment here. Taking your arms all the way up above you, pull, hold, stretch, expand. You are teaching and guiding your body to expand. When we are in an expanded state, we are in an electromagnetic state. We become more magnetic to that which we wish or that which we desire. And when you're ready, a long, slow exhale and taking your palms out to the side and just gently sealing the energy, your expansion. You are safe. You are safe in your expansion. All the way down, grounding. Inhale, exhale, integrate. Working a little bit deeper into your heart's cleanse here. You're going to take both hands and put them up onto your shoulders. If you like, you can go into an easy a rock pose, which is again here. Or you can stay seated in an easy pose. It's up to you. And inhale, exhale. So it sounds like this. You can hear my spine actually cracking. I must be a little bit dehydrated. In, exhale, in, exhale. Pump and release. Just allow your eyes to close and just gently rocking. Your head is moving with your entire upper torso. This is a spinal twist. You are cleansing and clearing your cerebral fluid all the way from coccyx to occipital, from the base of your spine to the base of your cranium. Inhale, exhale. This is a dynamic yogic practice. There is no time to think. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Again, just keep going. If you feel like you need to slow down, this is totally fine. If you feel like you need to open up your eyes just to catch your balance, totally fine as well. Allow yourself to surrender into the motion. Surrender into yourself and into your breath. Your breath is moving out the old, moving out the past, that which no longer serves you, so you can move and align with your truest nature and your highest potential. Coming into the center, and just doing a nice inhale here, and inhaling all the way up. Wrists are behind your neck, rocking back into your highest alignment, chin tucked in, squeeze Mula Bandh. Inhale, breath hold, squeezing rectum, sex organs and navel, buttocks, tongue on the roof of the mouth, eyes are closed, third eye awareness, focus, align, trust, hold. And when you're ready, arms go all the way up into a steeple grip. Long, slow exhale. Cleansing, clearing, and moving into a new state of being where you are sealed in your electromagnetic energy. You are sealed and safe in your expansion. Grounded in all that you are. Keeping your eyes closed. Staying with yourself. Third eye awareness. We're going to go to the other side, starting with the right, or the side that you didn't do previously. So just lifting your arms or your hands back to your shoulders. Inhale, exhale. All through the nose. It's a sniff and release, a powerful, dynamic breath work. Sniff, release. You are flushing, cleansing, and clearing your cerebral fluid, your central column, solar plexus, heart chakra. Go there, stay there, be here. If you feel the tension, if you feel the resistance, stay with it. You can go slower, but trying not to stop. Inhale, exhale. This is where the alchemy is occurring. You are detoxing your digestion, your liver, your upper and lower digestive tract. Good. Slowing down now. Inhale and squeeze Mula Bandh, rectum, sex organs, channel the energy up. Drawing your elbows up to the sky, chin tucked in, gently rock back, tongue on the roof of the mouth, eyes rolled upwards and in, squeeze, breath, hold, channel, receive, clear. Drawing in the highest frequencies through your central column, down the crown, arms up into a steeple grip, extend, call. Ask to receive your highest alignment down through your steeple grip, down the arms, into the heart, the solar plexus, sacral and base. Hands extend, turning them out, and long, slow exhale, release. If you've managed to stay with me in sync so far, well done. If you would like to join me in another practice in the future, by all means, I would love to have you join. And just nice integrated breath. Inhale and release. Beautiful. Coming back into easy pose. And just gently placing your hands just on your knees. Or if you are a little bit more advanced and you wanted to go into the full lotus, place a cushion underneath you. It's totally fine. You can do this as well. I have a little bit of a knee injury, so I'm just going to go into a nice easy pose. Now we're going to move into the Sufi grind. Again, this is very much a closed eye practice. We're going to call in some of your highest alignment here. Eyes are closed, and we're just going to start gently swaying into the Sufi grind, moving around left, front, right. Inhale, exhale. So if you can see me moving in this position, I'm very much moving from my sitting bones, my pelvis, and my abdominal muscles are really engaged. So obliques, upper and lower, and I'm swirling myself around. This rhythm will help drop you into your bliss consciousness. It allows Kundalini energy to rise, the subconscious mind to open, the neurological pathways and trauma pathways to lift up and out and cleanse. Inhale, exhale. Open heart energy, shoulders are relaxed. And just imagine that your spine is like a spoon and your pelvis is like the teacup. You are stirring yourself. Your chin follows suit, your heart, your chest, your shoulders follow as well, like 3 cylinders moving around. Now I want you to visualize that you are seated, eyes are closed. You're seated in the center of a beautiful velvet red rose, unfurling, unclenching, unfolding all the way around you. You are centered. You are aligned. Breathe. This is your base chakra. We're going there, where there is no fear, only stability and security. You are 100% supported by this old ancient energy that is Mother Earth. And just visualize a stem of energy channeling all the way down into the earth, the center of the earth, and you're drawing energy all the way up. Inhale as you go forward into your open heart. Exhale as you go retract back into yourself. Eyes are closed, third eye awareness, channeling this energy up, all the way up. This beautiful, loving, rich warmth enters into your sacral. Breathe it up, channel it up, activating in your sacral and your base, breathing it up into your solar plexus, blooming an expansion in your solar plexus as energy moves up into your heart. Your heart chakra is a great amplifier. Keep with your breath. Inhale, exhale. Eyes are closed, third eye awareness. Channeling this energy down your arms. Your arms are an extension of your heart chakra, and it pulls in your hands with 2 beautiful orange orbs of glowing energy, and just placing them back down into your knees, staying with the energy in your heart, and channeling this up into your throat. It bottlenecks into your throat and expands and extends and shifts and clears everything all the way around. Channeling this energy up into your pituitary gland, your left and your right hemisphere, all the way up, coming into a center. Squeeze buttocks, pelvic floor, rectum, 6 organs, navel, breath, hold. Drawing the energy up all the way to your pituitary gland and your crown, tongue on the roof of the mouth, eyes rolled upwards and in. Hold. Go into yourself. Stay with yourself. Go into your void, your nothingness, where you are expanding and making space for yourself to come into yourself with a higher alignment, channeling this energy up, all the way up from the earth, into your crown. And when you're ready, a long, slow release, as long as you can, slowly exhaling out the mouth. Beautiful, surrender, sink, receive. Chin tucked in, pelvis tucked under, scoop, shoulders gently back. You are in perfect alignment. Inhale, we're going to move into the right side this time. This is the solar side, your masculine side. We started with the feminine side, the lunar, your luminosity. We're moving into your radiant energy, your power energy. Inhale, exhale. Just come back to that visualization that your pelvis is a teacup and your spine is a spoon. If you need to bring your circles just in a little bit, just so that you can create a little bit more of a vortex, an internal vortex within, really engaging your stomach muscles. Kundalini is incredible for working the core. I think I've slimmed and toned my stomach so much since I've been working through the years with this practice. Inhale, open heart energy, pulling back within yourself. Chin tucked in, third eye awareness. Inhale, exhale. Now I want you to extend your field of awareness. Now that you've got a really beautiful rhythm, creating your own internal vortex, I want you to extend your awareness up to the solar energy. If it's nighttime, just visualize it anyway. And the moon, the cosmos, the quantum field, the stars, and start to connect with the source of all creation and channel this energy down through your crown. Breathe it in. Allow it to bathe your brain with this luxurious healing energy. It enters in through your crown, your third eye, your pineal gland, pituitary gland, channeling this energy, this beautiful golden luminous energy down into your throat and your heart. The heart chakra is the great amplifier. The energy expands. Feel it expand, see it expand. How large and wide and open can it go? Staying with your breath. Good, you're doing good. If you're still breathing deep, that's what I ask of you. This is Kundalini. There is nothing but motion and breath. How often do you do a practice where there's nothing but motion and breath? Go into yourself. This is where the medicine lives. This will unlock you. This will cleanse and clear your energetic centers, your emotional blocks, your mental blocks. This will awaken your spirit. Breathing down into the solar plexus, this energy, this radiant luminous energy blooms here, and breathing it all the way down, feeling into your abdominals, into your sacral and into your base, and channeling it all the way in and back down to the center of the earth. Connect, align, breathe. Inhale, exhale. You are in your highest alignment here. You are with yourself. There is no one else in the room. Staying with yourself and letting go of all attachments just for this moment. Inhale, squeeze, molar bund, buttocks, sex organs, rectum, navel, drawing the energy upwards and in to your third eye. Tongue on the roof of your mouth as far back as you can get it. Eyes rolled upwards to the descending spirit. Clench, hold, lock. And when you're ready, long, slow exhale. Clearing, cleansing, flushing out the old energy, the stagnant energy, anything that is not of your highest alignment, release. Beautiful. Now we're going to start to work with some of the open heart energy that we've expanded, and we're going to start to move this up into the throat. This is a beautiful one, or a powerful one as well, to start clearing out the throat chakra so you can learn to speak your truth a lot more clearly. This has had a profound impact on my own life. So it's an inhale, and just really shrug your shoulders and then drop. So in, drop. All the way in through your nose, exhale, inhale, exhale. Eyes are closed, third eye awareness, stay here, in, out. Feel the power with your shoulders releasing. And as you do this, the heart energy is learning to be channeled upwards. When the heart energy or the Kundalini energy is received by the left and right hemisphere, it unlocks your greater intelligence, your greater clarity of mind, your creativity, enhances cognitive ability. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. If you drop out of your practice, just soften and come back to inhale, exhale. I find if I purse my lips, you can get better leverage in through both nostrils. Try this. If you're feeling a little bit lightheaded, this is perfectly fine. You're clearing out old neurological patterns. You are healing thought processes and trauma. Anything that is not of your true nature or your true spirit's alignment, cleansing and flushing and clearing now. Keep up, you're doing great. Slowing down. Shoulder rolls backwards. Apply Mulaband, sex organs, rectum, navel, tongue on the roof of the mouth, eyes rolled upwards and in, and squeeze. Long, slow exhale. When you're ready, out the mouth with control. Resetting, recalibrating your nervous system. You are transformed, you are expanded, you are creating space within you to receive your true potential and your true nature. I think I've gone a little bit over. It's one of those practices that once you start, you almost don't want, you just want to keep going. So I am going to wrap it up for now, and just letting you know, with today's introduction, it's been very much a seated kriya. We've yet to lay down, so you're welcome to lay down after this practice. We haven't done a lot of floor work or standing work, which is also a part of Kundalini. So I'm just going to finish off today with the closing mantra, which is a Sat Nam. So Sat translates to truth is thy name, Nam being name. So also you're welcome to join me. I'm going to do 3 rounds of this and just really feel how it reverberates out through your body, through your energy centers, feeling where there's any blockages in your throat or your heart, feeling where you catch yourself. And therein lies your work, which will indicate where you're not really flowing in that holy creative flow. Sound is a beautiful indicator of this. but this is also a powerful purification mantra. So just bringing your palms into Priya Mudra, squeezing your thumbs together in front of your sternum, chin tucked in, shoulders down. Inhale. Sa. Nam. Sa. Nam. Sa. Nam. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today and dropping into this practice with yourself. If you would love to connect with me again and join me, I do teach via Zoom. I'm on Facebook under Jade Miller and Instagram, Jade Star Kundalini Yoga. Thank you so much. Satnam.
Hi Jade, thank you for amazing session. Do we have some questions here? If anyone has a question, please put it up. If there is any question, please, we are waiting. Okay. Who is the founder of Kundalini Yoga, where it is originated? Jade, a question for you.
Who is the founder of Kundalini Yoga?
Yes.
Kundalini Yoga it's such an ancient practice. It's derived from a number of lineages. However, it was Yogi Bhajan that brought it to the Western culture, and I believe he brought it to California. But if you were to, say, for example, go to India to practice Kundalini, I don't think you can particularly Google Kundalini and find it. It's, it's in Raja lineage, Tantra, a number of yoga. But yeah, Yogi Bhajan, just to keep that answer short.
Thank you. Where I can follow Ms. Jade for further practice? Well, Abhinav, we will be sending you certificate with the email and details of all the speakers. You can follow them, so you can always follow Jade there.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Jade Star Kundalini Yoga. Facebook is at Jade Miller, Miller. But as you've said, we'll send around some links later.
Perfect. Any books for Kundalini Yoga?
Any books? Well, personally, I read a number of different books. There's an online library that I've just discovered called Z Library, and it's by donation. And so you can place into that Kundalini Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I do share quite a lot of content on my different experiences with awakening Kundalini and the transformation that occurs in one's life, and support people through that.
Okay. Can we do other yoga practices with Kundalini Yoga?
Every class I teach is similar but different. So we can move into more gentle, more aerobic or more gentle. I teach an introduction. I also teach awakening the 10 bodies, working into each different chakra to cleanse and clear and power up. So there's so many different styles. It can get quite vigorous, or it can be quite gentle. That's why I love it, because it's so all-encompassing.
There's a question: which chakras are activated by this Kundalini exercises you have done today?
Sorry, what was that?
Which chakras are activated by the present
From today?
session? Yes.
Sure. So when we're really moving into the pelvis area and we're doing the rocks forward and back, this is starting to stimulate the root chakra and the sacral chakra to expand and cleanse and clear, and starting to move that to the upper chakras. So essentially, we've gone through all of them. It's very much an overview because we're moving the energy from here, which is an unlimited source of energy, and then your creative energy, your sexual energy, your life force energy, and we were channeling it up. So a lot of the spinal flexors were concentrated around clearing out the heart, which for a lot of people is very closed and impacted from the modern world that we live in. We actually train ourselves to guard it. But in Kundalini, it teaches you to open up your heart and become safe and more trusted in this place. And therefore you literally become a manifesting powerhouse because you're drawing in the higher frequencies, which is love.
There's one question: is it possible to do Kundalini yoga in present generation? Uday, well, I believe we are present generation and we are doing it. So yes, I can give the answer. It's possible to do Kundalini yoga. Okay.
Through the present generation.
Yes. Thank you for a wonderful session, Jade. It's been
My
nice.
pleasure.
We will be sending your details to our attendees, and the recording will be available to them after the event. You can now, I can putting you an attendee so you can enjoy the rest of the sessions, right? Thank you. Have a nice day
Thank
ahead.
you, Satnam. Bye.
Next in a row, we have Dr. Gururaj. Dr. Gururaj, you're there?
Namaste.
Hi. So Dr. Gururaj is an Ayurvedic doctor. He is working in Kevaladham, Lonavala from last 12 years. His experience in Ayurveda and yoga and diet is extraordinary. I know him from a long time. He has been my physician. He's been my friend. Thank you, sir, for giving your precious time here. I will request you to take the screen and please introduce yourself a bit. And you're going to take, I believe, introduction of Ayurveda today.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, namaste all of you. So, I think I'm audible right now. So, we'll start straight away with the session. So, basically, we'll discuss about the fundamentals of Ayurveda as of such. So, Ayurveda basically
Guraj, there is some technical issue, I believe.
hello.
Yes, you're audible. I think there's some network issue.
Hello.
Please carry on.
Yeah. Just so I start again. Okay.
Guraj, do you need to share screen?
Hello? No, it's okay.
Okay. Because the moment your
I'm
bandwidth
audible,
will
right?
go low,
Yeah.
yes, you're audible. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Can you give me one more minute? I will sign in from another one device. Is it okay?
Please do that.
Just one
Please
more
do
minute.
that. No
Yeah,
problem.
just 1 second. Hello, Gaurosa.
Yes.
You have to get me in.
Yes, Guraj, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay.
Yes, the second device is logged in.
So is it audible now? Hello?
You're not visible. Your video is not there. Yeah, you're here.
Is it audible now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, one
Perfect.
second. Just 1 second.
Take your time, don't worry.
I'll just connect it with. Yes.
Well, you're perfectly starting on time. The session is supposed to start at 8 a.m. So still have 2 minutes left for you.
Okay. Thank you. So I think now it's audible and clear.
Perfect.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Gaurav. So I think we'll start out with the introduction basically.
Thank you.
So we were talking, so I can start, right? So I can start, I think. So
Yes.
yeah, basically I was introducing about the Ayurveda. So nowadays we have been more aware of this word Ayurveda, how it is working and parallelly with the others medical system to support with this pandemic period as well with some decoctions and things. So what exactly the Ayurveda is and how it has been on to this all faculties and we were using. So Ayurveda was not invented by any one of the person as of a such. It's not been invented or it's not been gifted by some other things. Going back to the history, I can say it was brought back to the earth basically, and what we call it as an Ayurveda Avtaran. Basically, Ayurveda Avtaran means coming to the earth as of such. And the history says that the lifespan of this earth is divided into four phases, basically yugas, what we call. So it's like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and the present scenario, which is a Kali Yuga. So Satya Yuga was something where everybody was following all the proper rituals and the practices, and nobody was ill or nobody was having any disease form. Everything was peace, prosperous, happy going. At the end of the Satya Yuga started the tendency of accumulation of the food, accumulation of the other systems and provisions basically, and the greed started increasing in humankind, which led for the beginning of the disease basically. And then onwards, for the benefit of the mankind, the sages who were practicing and who were balanced of more, they decided for the betterment of this mankind, we will have to do something. And then they have a conference like this, I believe, and then they are accumulated everywhere into the Himalayas and then decided we need to find a solution to this disease, which is something new now. And then the representative was Sage Bharadwaj, who was supposed to get in to meet Lord Indra to fetch the knowledge or the solution. He gave the solution of basically Ayurveda. Okay. And then he gave the Ayurvedic all informations to him. He carried out those informations, came back onto the earth, and he distributed that. He shared that knowledge with other his colleagues, sages, and other things. And then onwards, it went on for the benefit of the mankind from teacher and disciple principle, the Guru Shishya Parampara, what we normally call. So from Rishi Bharadwaj, he gained it from Indra, who in turn got it from Daksha Prajapati, and it almost went up to the Brahma, the origin source. And the references says Brahma didn't created this. The creator of the universe didn't created Ayurveda. He just remembered it. So as of first time, there is no time span mentioned in any of the text or the references from where Ayurveda started, basically. So it has been there. We've been just utilizing as an up to the mark. We are exploring it. We are knowing it. So I believe we have been informed on the Ayurveda on need to know basis, basically in general terms. There have been a lot of texts then onwards. So the teaching went on from generation to generation, the practices went on from generation to generation. And now what we have is a proper form of text and education system as a part of a medical faculty, basically. So in those days, it started with basically with improved way of teaching, and then onwards the documentation. Documentation is something which has been started 5,000 years before. Before that, we don't find any documentation, any proof that there was any documentation. These documentations were in some different verses, basically. These verses were elaborated as and when the time was needed. So as the quality of the students is going on with the changes in the time, they need to have more elaborated things, they need to have more specialized things. Then there became some streams of learning, basically. So follower of Sushruta, follower of Charaka, these are the Pradhan Acharyas, the main persons or the main teachers who have been renowned for into the Ayurveda, basically. Since then, the trend of practicing also went on. There has been some surgery-based therapy, there has been some medicine-based therapy, the therapeutical process. It went on from as per the need and requirement of the society. Okay, so that was just a brief about Ayurveda. So we'll come to the point. The word Ayurveda basically is something of two terms, Ayur and Veda. Ayur means the whole lifespan from birth to even the death. Whatever things happen in a person's life is called Ayur. Ayur, the base, a complete way of Ayur. And Veda is complete knowledge, is a total knowledge basically. And based on this, we can say it's a total knowledge about a person's whole lifespan. Okay. So that suggests anything from birth onwards to the death, whatever phases a person is going to face or requirement of his thing is explained in here. Yes, it is not only a medical science, it's a complete science, how to live the life, basically. What time and what you have to do, what you have not to do, everything as like in an ideal frame, it has been explained in Ayurveda. What we are practicing nowadays more is of something which is written back into the text some 1500 to 400. The original I said is like 5,000 years back. So 1500 BC over to 400 AD onwards, the written texts which are mostly focusing on the medical part of the region, basically. That is where we are practicing and we are utilizing it for the betterment of the normal humankind, basically. The Ayurveda aims particularly at saying that it should work for everybody. As I said, it's a holistic, it's not only a medical purpose. So when we say what Ayurveda aims at, so it says that swastasya swastha rakshanam. It means swastasya swastha rakshanam. The person who is healthy, he should be maintaining his healthy lifestyle for a longer duration. So for maintaining the health of a person, what he should be doing, what he should be following is what they're explained. Then the second part says Aturasya Vikara Prashamanam. So Aturasya is a deceased person. So Vikara is the disease. Prashamanam is like we are treating it or we are calming down the disease, basically. So this states that the person who is healthy, he should maintain a healthy lifestyle, basically how he will maintain a healthy status for a longer duration. And in case after following these things or with some small mistake, he loses the balance, then we will say that he has to be treated and brought back to the normal health status. Health is something which is an balancing on a seesaw. It's nothing a stable form of life. We have to strive, we have to try to maintain it stable. lot of chances with a small changes into the practices or into the following procedure, you'll end up into a diseased condition. Now, disease is not something which is a big term faculty, like you say, okay, you label it with something. Whenever you are not at ease, whenever you're not feeling ease, is a diseased condition. Very easy. Diseased condition. So to maintain the ease condition, what we have to do is we have to follow certain rules, regimes, dietary restrictions, some of the behavioral part as well, which comes in with this. Another thing that works with, it works very well with the philosophy, the yoga. It has very close relation with the philosophy of yoga. Many of the Western authors have termed as a sister science of like Ayurveda and yoga are the sister sciences. I believe because this is something where Ayurveda already been accumulated with. Ayurveda advises for the practices of pranayama in some text. It tells about the practices of what yama niyama says basically in different terms basically, but the concept remains the same. And when it comes up to the yogic part, we can say we see some of the references of Ayurveda in yogic part, like ways you do some dhoti kriya, the jala dhoti or something, where it says this is required for preparation of the pre-pranayama procedure basically, and it says it removes up for the cleansing of kapha or excess meda. What kapha and meda is something where Ayurveda has explained already. What is kapha? What is meda? Why it need to be cleaned up? So it has a very much closer relation, I can say, with yoga and Ayurveda going together as such. Ayurveda again believes into the basic fundamental principles that we'll go through basically. It says it's believing with the Pancha Mahabhuta theory. What is Pancha Mahabhuta? Everything in this universe is constituted of 5 basic elements. We call it as a Pancha Mahabhuta. It is called Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, Akash. Earth, water, fire, air, and the space element. Everything is constituted of these 5 basic elements in a different proportion maybe. We as a human also are Panchamahabhutik basically, and therefore this applications is very easier and we can understand the medications used for balancing these imbalances in a Panchamahabhutik body is definitely a herbal base, is definitely a Panchabhutik base, not a synthetic base. So the medications or the supplements used into the correction of this body is something which is origin of these 5 Mahabhuts or Pancha Mahabhut. We in addition have one more faculty called, we can say, which makes us different from the living and the non-living, is the soul or Atman, we can say. So Pancha Mahabhuta and the Atman is something which is making our body working. Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, Akash in combination with the soul is what we are having. And the treatment or the therapy is always in balancing with this thing. We have these things formed into our body basically, and each of these further contribute into functions of the body in some or the other way. So again, the philosophy says that each Mahabhuta has going into a Panchikarna process of Mahabhuta, what we call is every Mahabhuta has a property of the other 4. Like if I say Prithvi, it has a 50% of the Prithvi and the other 4 are already present in that same wise in other Pancha Mahabhutas. These helps in formation of the half of the Mahabhuta property that we are telling and 1/8 of the property the other Mahabhutas. That suggests the contribution of each Mahabhuta in another Mahabhuta, and this way forming the formation of the body basically. Based on that, we can say the body, the functions, the imbalances in Ayurveda are studied basically. So the basic philosophy of Ayurveda in physiological part, something which is more interesting and very unique way studied in Ayurveda. What differences? Anatomy, I can say, is something which is more similar, or I can say the modern anatomy is more inspired with Ayurvedic anatomy. Of course, there is more sophisticated study with the anatomy. Physiology is something which makes Ayurveda stand out in its unique way to study. In physiology, we have studied basically the functions of the body, how it works. Now we can say with the body is functioning, it needs some energy for the functioning, and the functioning energy of the body is called as doshas. What our body forms is the structural part is called dhatus, and what in between, basically normally whenever there is a function, there is a process and it leads into a nourishment, then there is a waste products which is called as mala. So these basic three things, dosha, dhatu and mala, is something which forms up to the body on a gross level. Basically doshas, as I say, is something which is functioning into the body, which maintains the functioning of the body, and is again can be studied in terms of combination of Panchamahabhutas. We have three dosha theory basically. Sorry. So three dosha means there are three different types of doshas which maintains the functions. You might have been aware of these terms: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata is something which is said to be a combination of Vayu and Akasha Mahabhuta. So the representation, I can say in another word, the representation of Vayu and Akasha Mahabhuta in our body, as I said, it is a Panchbhautik. Each term is looked after by the term of Vata. Pitta is something which is again a combination of Agni and Jala. And Kapha is something which is can be thought of Jala and Prithvi. So these Vata, Pitta, Kapha is something which we are going to deal with in the functioning of the body, basically. And if we compare these functions, basically, their terms in any of the body life. So for any functioning part in the human physiology, we can say basically we think in terms of anabolism, catabolism, or something like transformation. We can compare the functions of the doshas in with these properties as well, with these functions as well, basically. And these functions or these properties are being informed or been told long back in the text of Ayurveda how these are going to function. If we say the anabolism part is basically, you can say like growth and development, then that is something which the kapha looks after. And catabolism is something vata looks after. Transformation always needs some kind of energy or heat or fire element. In any form of the transformation, we need to have the fire element as a key role in some of the way. So pitta turns to be responsible for transformation processes. When we study Vata, basically, as I said, it is combined of Vayu and Akash. So the functions and the properties relating to those Vayu and Akash, like dryness, roughness, lightness, anxiousness, is called combination of this Vata. Now, these doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, are not to be seen as a materialistic form. So you can't say, okay, we cut out with this area and we'll see what exactly the vata is, what exactly, how much quantity the pitta is situated or what. So these are, as I said, the functional properties. The properties is in a collectively form term to be a one particular type of dosha. When I say dryness, roughness, anxiousness for vata, so that suggests whenever we'll say vata has increased, so it has increased in one or the other form of these properties. Other way around, if dryness has increased in the body, then I can say vata has increased in the body. If the heat content in the body has increased, we can say pitta has increased. Basically, these properties are something which is defining the doshas themselves. These whole three dosha, vata, pitta, and kapha, is something which is going to maintain the function of the body all over. Based on the requirement, and other further study says there are 5 different types of vata, 5 different types of pitta, 5 different types of kapha. We're not going into the details basically, but these have their own place now. 5 different types of vata have their own place, like I can say prana, udana, samana, vyana, apana. They have their own place of existence
functioning area, they have different properties now. They have different functions now. They have been assigned different work over different area. Similarly with 5 types of pitta and 5 types of kapha also. Now the functions of the body is something which is permutation and combination of these properties. 5 different types of vata, 5 different types of pitta, kapha and these properties, and the combination of permutation combination is something on which your body is running. Now, when I say these are the functioning unit, they have to function on some base form. They need to have some structural body. This structural form is based of what our body is made up of. We call it as dhatu. Our body is made up of different types of tissues. These tissues collectively is called as dhatus. They form our body. In Sanskrit, we say dharanata dhatava. That means they form and maintain the body, and based on that, the formal structural part is called as dhatus. Unlike the modern physiology, the tissues in Ayurveda are 7 different levels, again organized into a systemic form where they have one to the higher level going with the nourishment factor, requirement, and the strength of the body. There are 7 different tissues explained in Ayurveda. We can say this as rasa, rakta, maus, meda, asti, majja, and shukra. I repeat, rasa, rakta, maus, medha, asti, majja, and shukra. Rasa is the lymph or the liquid form into the body, the secretory part, nourishing part into the body. Rakta can be compared to the blood into the body. Mausa can be compared to the musculatures in the body. Meda can be compared to the fat or the fat tissues. Asti can be directly compared with the bone. Majja is the bone marrow, which can be compared. Shukra is the reproductive cells. Now, basically going more technically, this is something which is the germ cells basically, or the reproductive cells like the sperm and the ova. And apart from that, all tissues we know, all tissues, including from the skin to the blood, everything which is formed, is generated, had to have a generation. So the generation power is into the Shukra Dhatu. Chronologically, the nourishment into the body is also terms with Rasa, Rakta, Maus, Meda, Asti, Majja, Shukra in the same similar fashion. Now, when this dhatus, the doshas are functioning, as I said, for the transformation, what we eat food in different ways. We eat chapatis, rotis, dal, rice, anything. So what we are eating has to be converted into this tissue form because they build up our body, they form up our body, and the energy has to be supplied to maintain this functioning engine on. So apart from getting into the fuel has also to be converted into the bodily part, which is looked after by the fire element in our body. So we have a basic concept again called digestive fire. This is something which converts the food into the food juice, and this food juice is taken through different channels for nourishment of these 7 different types of tissues. This digestive fire is called Jatharagni. So the thumb rule, I can say, basically the whole way of Ayurveda or the therapeutical part of Ayurveda is something maintaining this digestive fire balancing, because many of the disease, almost all of the disease, arises with the imbalances of this digestive fire on one or the other level. There are again all 7 different types of tissues have their own digestive fire, which helps them to convert the nourishment, to absorb the nourishment from the food juice and nourish the particular dhatu. For example, if the food juice is in contact with the rasa dhatu or rasa dhatu fire element, this rasa dhatu fire is going to act on this food juice, absorb that particular part which is nourishing rasa dhatu, and send the remaining part to the next dhatu. And this process continues from rasa to rakta to mausa, meda. Process continues. So another say that every time you go up to the next dhatu level, it has been pre-acted or pre-cooked by the earlier dhatu level. So more we advance towards the dhatus, so more finer or more cooked form of the food is the nourishment is available. This is something similar what we call as a fractional distillation. At this part of the temperature, this gets separated into this bowl, and so it can be separated. The food nourishing factor has nourishment for all the 7 dhatus, but the quantity of the nourishment to a particular dhatu, it changes depending upon how we eat. So this fire element is something which is going to make the difference. So if the basic digestive fire is low or is vitiated, disturbed, then the food juice formed into the body basically is vitiated. It's not up to the mark quality of the food juice. Of course, then if the raw product is not good, we can't expect the products to be on a good quality. So those dhatus which form off is not of the good quality basically. So corrections basically start by correction of the Agni, fire element. Now we consider these doshas, the functioning units in our body, the dhatus, the structural form, Agnis for the transformation of the food into these tissues, everything is going well. Now what forms is the waste products. Of course, not everything that we eat is absorbed and converted into the bodily part, right? So there has to be some waste products generated. This waste product is called as mala in Ayurveda. We have concept of mala. 3 grossly divided malas, we call it Sveda, Mutra and Purish. Malas are constituted into 3 ways, counted in 3 ways, Sveda, Mutra and Purish. Sveda is the sweat, urine and stool, 3 different malas. Now it is clear that the doshas, when they maintain the functioning of the body, dhatus, they form the structural part of the body. Agni is something which is converting the food into the tissues or the dhatus basically. And in the last part, we can say the malas, the undigested part of the tissues or the food is thrown out of the body in the waste form. And to maintain this machine of the body functioning properly, we should be knowing that in particular, we should not be disturbing these doshas. We should be maintaining these dhatus and malas, and which have an important role. Yes, of course, the malas has to be timely formed and eliminated. If not, then they are accumulating the toxins in our body. What are toxins? Toxins are the unwanted part for the tissues of the body. So if unwanted part is always going to compete from the good things always, or it is going to compete for the space. It is vitiating the tissues. It is mixing up with the good properties of the functions. So malas has to be generated and thrown out in a timely process. This is the natural function of the body, which happens normally. At different level of the tissues, we find different undigested part of the tissues. For example, we have it at rasa, rakta, dhatu. Whenever this conversion take place, so basically there also arises mala of that particular tissue or dhatu, which also accumulates one or the other way into the body and it is thrown out of the body. Now, when considering this, if we say, if a person is having a proper food, the other part, the functioning good, then this machine is working properly, the bodily machine is working properly. Even then, Ayurveda says the person can't be defined as a healthy. Okay, in other words, I can say, if a person's lab report, lab test, you got to do everything, CBC, lipid, sugar, everything you got to do, and everything is into the normal, within normal limit, what we say. If it is within normal limit, that doesn't define you are healthy according to Ayurveda. Yes. So not only an absence of disease is health. Okay. It is something defined in a different way. So how we define basically, it is seen as sama dosha, sama agni, sama dhatu, malakriya. First line says sama dosha, the functionings of the doshas are to be balanced. Sama agnischa, balance form of the fire element. Remember, we talked about the fire element of the digestive fire, the Jatharagni, and then 7 different level of the Dhatu fire. Again, there are 5 different types of Panchamahabhutik fire. So all these fire elements are to be functioning optimal, balanced way. Samadhatu Malakriya. Samadhatu, the tissues formed, nourished, functions of the tissues are to be executed in a balanced way. Malakriya, malas have to be formed and thrown out of the body in a timely manner. So Samadosha, Sama Agni, Samadhatu, Malakriya. This is the functioning of the body, basically. The second line is more important, which is Prasanna Atma Indriya Manasa Swastha Ityavide. So, to define a person healthy, not only the dosha, dhatu, mala, agni balance is enough. So, it says the second, Prasanna Atma Indriya Manasa. The mental well-being of the person, the sense organs to be functioning properly, the blissful feeling, which is a natural way we have nowadays to attempt to have this feel, to be happy through yoga. Basically, we are practicing, but that is a natural sign of being healthy. Prasanna Atma Indriya Manasa Swastha Vided. So Ayurveda defines it in terms of all physical, mental, social, spiritual way combined together, and then it says, okay, if all these well-being are, all these faculties are doing good, then we can say you are healthy. Not merely absence of disease will tell a person is healthy. Now, based on this, we again have to follow some routine. So that was about the physiological basis. What we can say is like dosha, dhatu, mala, agni is something where we see the physiology of Ayurveda works. Now comes part of implementation. Okay, now we know the physiology, what has to be implemented. So to maintain the healthy life, Ayurveda defines how you should live the life. So it has designed a daily regime. We call it as dinacharya. What time you should be waking in ideally, what time you should be having the exercise, what type of exercises, what type of food, what the way of food having. So dinacharya is something what you have to practice from morning till evening till you sleep. What time to sleep, how much to sleep. And based on the requirements, I can say, you can say what seasonal changes are there. So you can't practice the same through all the seasons. So we have around different seasons, like we have summer, we have rainy, we have winter, and again, we more specifically going changes with the climatic, it's subdivided into again different types of ritus. So different seasonal routines to be what has to be practiced and changed and adapted during this different seasonal. So it is called as ritucharya. So one part is dinacharya, one part is ritucharya. Dina is like day, night to be like counted, and charya is something which is to be followed. Acharya, acharana is to be followed. Similarly, like ritucharya, based on the ritu or the season, what is to be followed. So there are different, that counts a whole different lecture if we're going into the deep. Based on the requirement, what is to be done is explained there in dinacharya and ritucharya. Now, even after following all those procedures, rules, regimes, and something, sometime or the other, we tend to have imbalances. Okay, every time is not what we do. It is sometimes also the climatic conditions which are responsible for the imbalances. So extreme climatic conditions are something which are going to influence our body. Every ritu has its own doshik effect on our body. When I say doshik effect, it means it tend to have accumulation of one dosha, aggression of the another dosha, and the overlaying of the another dosha. So based on that, the effect on the body happens. This is something seen in based on the combination of dosha in a particular person also. So every human being is having these three doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. But to some extent, the combination of this vata, pitta, kapha differs, and it is unique for each and every person. That is where the Ayurveda works on. So each body type, what we call, is also prakriti. Prakriti is a combination of these doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha into a particular body. So is the person Vata predominant? Is he having Vata related property or the structural into the body on a higher side than compared to the Pitta or Kapha? Or he is having Vata and Pitta as a predominant way of the functions? Based on that, the whole structure, the phenomena, the advices or the therapeutical part changes Prakriti based on this Prakriti. For example, if a person having Vata tendency higher as compared to any other, then whenever there is wind blowing outside, he travels a lot, sleep disturbance, don't sleep, he or she don't sleep to a proper extent, then it definitely have a great stimulation for the Vata aggravation as compared to any of the other dosha who are predominant. So basically, when we say we are doing anything which is aggravating Vata or any situation which is aggravating that particular dosha related imbalances is bound to happen. Okay. So now what has to be done? Now, based on this, the therapeutical part or the therapeutical aspects into Ayurveda is there. Normally, even after following these regimes and these things, if there changes, so what basically is advised is, okay, you choose change with your dietary plans, you change with these things, do this, do that. Still there is no improvement, then the therapeutical part is introduced, which is more of study or interest in nowadays. So it is done in two ways. Either you get some supplements, medications, and you digest that imbalance. When I say digest, that is something which has to do to neutralize the imbalances. For example, I will say I get a person to see and he has with diagnosis is aggravated of this Vata, as we can say this is like a plus plus. You give some supplement medication which is minus minus and it is neutralized. Okay, so that Vata is something which is neutralized. Neutralized part stays in the neutral form into the body when up until it gets an aggravation signal from the outside, like it gets a conducive environment to flare up. Pain or any other complaint which forms into the body, it accumulates into the body to form a long term until a threshold is reached. Once it reaches the threshold part, then it again flares up and it explodes in the body to an extent that it will disturb the body to a very acute condition. It's accumulation. It never happens, rarely it happens, but it normally doesn't happen that the aggravation has done from yesterday. I ate something with Vata relating and today I started having all the complaints. No, because body is something which strives very hard to maintain the balance itself without our awareness. Its basic function is to maintain the property. And as I said, it's a dynamic. Health is a dynamic state. It's not a stable state for a long time. Maybe you didn't had any complaint for a long time, but that doesn't mean that is a health in the status as per the definition what we say just now. So we have to practice and we have to make attempt to maintain it into a balanced form on a routine basis. So what happens is, so with the aggravation of these doshas, so then their medication is given, is neutralized. That is the one part. The second part says, okay, you don't neutralize it, you get you get it stimulated more and throw it out of the body. Like there has been a small stimulation which is causing a disturbance, so you give some supplement medication, you get the dormant toxins active, loosen up into the body and throw them out. That is called Shodhana process. Shodhana is something to remove the toxins out of the body. This is something which we nowadays have seen, you might be aware, is done in the form of Ayurvedic Panchakarma process, Panchakarma therapies basically. What is Panchakarma? Pancha is 5 and Karma are the procedures. 5 procedures are Vaman, Virechan, Basti, Nasya and Raktamokshan. Vaman is therapeutical inducing of the vomiting to remove the toxins. Virechan is therapeutical laxative therapy or purgation therapy. Basti is like an enema therapy. Nasya is nasal administration of the medication. And Raktamokshan, when the toxins enter up to the blood level, Then we have a procedure called Rakta Mokshan, where the toxicated blood is removed from a particular area. This is normally done in different fashions. A common fashion used is application of a leech. Leech is an insect which has a tendency to suck the impure blood from the body. Again, there are different varieties of leeches. Basically, the species of leeches, going deeper, medically used leeches is something what an Ayurvedic doctor is going to be advising you in case required. So this is something done in a form which is more similar to the Shuddhi Kriyas in yoga. Again, as I say, it's a very deep relation with the Ayurveda. So cleansing is something which is seen in yogic perspective, and detoxification is something which is seen in Ayurvedic perspective. Vaman is not as similar process as in Vaman Dhauti. Virechan is, as I said, a purgative, but it is nothing similar like a Shankha Prakshavan. Okay, the different terms, basically, the different concepts, basically. In this process, we have a step-by-step procedure to be followed. In Panchakarma of Ayurveda, we have step-by-step process of followed. First, the body is to be prepared, where you have to loosen the toxins, where you have to release these dormant and make the dormant toxins, make them active, and then you throw them out of the body. And then the part comes of the rejuvenation. So it is a preparatory phase, most important. Preparation of the body to lose the toxins. This is done by some oleation therapies, some different external oleation massages, some medicated ghee or oil intake with the food or in empty stomach as a part of preparatory. After the proper preparation is done, then one of these panchakarma is been advised, either Vaman, Virechan or Basti, like this thing. Once the toxins are out, once this panchakarma is completed, which we call it as a pradhana karma, the major therapy, then the rejuvenation of the body is carried out. Rejuvenation is done again with different types of supplements or the therapies, like a part of a rasayana chikitsa, what we call in Ayurveda. This is something which is very different than what we do in yogic Shuddhi Kriya, where you have basically you don't have preparation. Okay, you can plan tomorrow morning, I will do Vaman, you can do Vaman Dhoti. And this is not in case of Ayurveda. You have to be prepared the body, loosen the toxins. Based on that, you throw them out of the body. Now, this is again, based on this, again, there's some supplements, the proper procedures done, and then the advices is given, again, based on your Prakriti, what diseases you are prone to, what area you live, what lifestyle you live, what toxins in the body is more to be accumulated, tendency of the body. So pre-treatment, main treatment, and post-treatment is something which is commonly seen. So that is where we see, basically, I think it's 8:40. Okay, so that is where we see seeing on with the balancing of the doshas, balancing of the dhatus, placed in different forms, do's, don'ts, rituals, basically of the dinacharya, rutucharya, of what is daily routine and the seasonal routine, and most importantly, the dietary factors of the functions, basically. A general tendency what we follow nowadays is eat lot of fruits, drink lot of water. This is something which is not a perfect way of advices. Okay, when we say body is from different body types, basically, so then different body types have different requirements, different needs. Based on that, it has to be calculated, or it has to be tabulated what is required to form. Okay, and based on that, it is changed as per the requirement. In general terms of Ayurveda, when we say we need to have for the dietary consulting or the dietary requirement, then what is more important we see is how is the fire element, what is the body type, like what Prakriti he is more in dominant. And then the routine process, what we see is what is the routine process of the lifestyle person, is he's living in which environment. So it can't be same for a person living into a desert and living into a snowfall area. So it changes with the environment, because the tendency of that particular dosha into the environment and influence on the body is bound to happen, make more changes. Based on that, there can be more specified way of having a dietary advices, routine advices, and the different way of therapeutical procedures as we discussed in Panchakarma, whether it has to be a woman, whether it has to be a Videchan, Basti, Nasya, whatever it is required, as and when the body types or the requirement of the strength of the tissues. So maybe sometimes we see, okay, this complaint and this person has to be given a woman procedure, but the body strength, the tissue strength, the dhatus, the forms is not that strong that he will maintain, or she will maintain through the procedures. Then it has to be changed again based on that is where the mathematics of the clinician works, that what combination is about to do for a particular person. Okay, I think it's 8:45, so we can start with the questions if there. Gaurav-san, are you there? Okay, I didn't see any questions over there. So if you have any questions or any concept which need to be discussed, please drop in the questions.
I request participants to drop any Q&A if there is any.
Okay, it could be related to what we discussed, or it could be related to any of the concept that if you are aware of Ayurveda and you are not very clear with how exactly this works or how exactly this is required. Yeah, super.
Okay, is personality defined by Vat, Pitta, and Kapha?
Yes, so going more deeper in Vata, Pitta and Kapha, definitely the personality is defined. What type of person a person is. I'll give a short example. Sorry. Suppose we have a person more of, and it is, I will give an example where you can define with one example. It's like a questionnaire based thing, like a lot of questions, lot of aspects to be seen before labeling a person as whether he's a Vata or Pitta or Kapha predominant. For example, just see if we are going in a lunch in a group, okay, and the person who is having Pitta predominant, if it is a lunchtime, 12 o'clock, suppose it's a lunchtime, and it is 12:30, the person start getting disturbed. He will start losing his cool. Pitta person can't bear the appetite or the hunger, basically. Vata person is somebody who can eat like 3 chapatis, 4 chapatis in one go, and then next time he will say, okay, we don't have balancing. So it changes with the how the person behaves also, how he thinks also. Going to a Manas Prakriti, we have a concept called Manas Prakriti, which is counting onto the mental attributes as well. This is based on the Vata Pitta Kapha itself, then we call it as a Sattva Raja Tama, basically. So definitely I will say yes, it can define the personality.
Perfect. There's one more question.
How can we define the Prakriti of an individual? Okay, so this is something like you go with the characters. So in the beginning I told this Vata, Pitta and Kapha are nothing but they are the representing of the Mahabhutas, which has been contributing to a particular properties. Okay, the structural form of the body, the functional form of the body, and these properties make the person either of the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. What we have to do is we have to analyze this. This is the Prakriti is something which is an analyzing concept. You analyze the structure of the body, the functions of the body, the behavior of the person, how his gait is, how his talking is. So in a clinical form, I can say, I see a person having Vata disturbance. He writes up 2, 3, 4 pages of complaints. Kapha person writes 1 or 2 lines, words maybe. Pitta persons are to the point. They write the complaints into the point. They write mostly with the diagnosis also and the medications also that they are taking. Pitta persons write to the point the thing that this is the thing. So we do see those things, and this is needing an analysis. You find a lot of questionnaires that we can help to define which Prakriti person is. Yeah.
If there's any questionnaire you can recommend for personality,
Yes, we have the questionnaires also. I think I can share you the questionnaire in case later. I don't have it right now here, but you can find many on the website.
perfect. Another question is, what is the ideal stage of learning Ayurveda? If someone who is in mid-30s can start, and how we have to do it?
Okay, learning Ayurveda is different. Practicing Ayurveda is different. If you want to learn Ayurveda, I will say there is no age limit for learning Ayurveda. But if you have to practice Ayurveda, and specifically in India, then there is a proper procedure that you have to pass the NEET and all the formalities to go. If you are an aspirant who are practicing and you want to know more concepts of the Ayurveda, then I already conducted some online sessions, and there are lots of sessions where you can learn Ayurveda. No age limit as of such. For practicing, we have to go with the rules, the laws, land of the laws, basically, and then it is like a procedure of proper admission.
Okay. Being a yoga teacher, what Ayurvedic practice I can provide to my clients?
So I say, if you know more specifically in deeper aspects of the Ayurveda, then it will help that what particular practices are more helpful. For example, I will say practices of forward bending is something which is more vata functioning improvement, pitta functioning improvement, which stabilizing asanas to be done for vata related person. Kapha related person can be given more vigorous practices. So this is something, because based on the fire element and the body type, what practices can be given is also defined. Yeah, is that clear, Gaurav?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is all for today. Thank you, Dr. Gururaj, for joining us today and giving the important lecture on
Thank you.
business
Thank you for
Ayurveda.
all of you for being sharing with us. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
Yes.
there's some special announcements. Thank you, Gururaj. You
Thank you.
may take a
Yeah.
lead.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, today, I need to share some information with you. There is a silent day at Bali, which is known as Naipi. In this silent day, people at Bali have no access to internet or phone calls, and they will be meditating whole day and praying to God and God this whole day. So it is precisely today. So one of our attendee couldn't make it for the next session. She had sent her sincere apology. Uh, Next session of our will start at 4 p.m. today, and we have Miss Kelly, followed by Dr. Miss Suchin Sodi. Then we have Yogananda ji. Then we have Ruchita ma'am, and then we have Claire Summer from Mexico. So next session is gonna be very interesting. Please do join. Reason behind it's all about yogapreneur and how to be a part of yoga business if you are into it. This is all for today's session. In the morning session, we'll see you at 4 o'clock. Thank you and have a nice evening. Bye bye.